yesterday at Blairberry salon. We're here on River Oaks Boulevard, so I just wanted to lighten the mood possibly for a moment.
Much better looking. Why does that look better than mine? Look at this cowboy guy.
So, a few points. We can disagree without being disagreeable. That is possible. I've been sitting up here for 29 years, okay? I don't usually use that term or that number because you'll use it against me, okay? I know you will. I know you will. But I've been sitting for 29 years, and I've seen highs and lows. I see 4 fellow city councilmen sitting out in the audience tonight that I have served with. They're not up here at the moment. And I've been with the in crowd, and I've been with the out crowd, and everywhere in between. And these decisions don't get any easier, my dear. They don't. But that disagreeable part is what is troubling me. And recently, it seems to me that that part has become more inflamed. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Again, history, this goes back before my time, and this is what was shared with me, so hopefully you can't prove me wrong. This is what Herman tells when he did the research. River Oaks at one time was a large city. I mean, it had a large territory. I don't know if it was actually a city or just a community or whatever, but there was a lot of land. And our forefathers decided at one point they didn't want all that land. They didn't want the headaches. They didn't want everything that came with it. And as I'm told, they pulled back. They wanted residences. They wanted a little community. They wanted to take care of their homes and stuff. And that's one. And then there's some parts to the story about, trying to get a bigger, expand our footprint, but there was an error in the filing, and other cities filed at the same time, and it went to court, and, we lost, and anyway, I don't have to make all that, except that, in general, what I'm told, our forefathers wanted it to be a veteran community. So, and that was our decision. Since then, we've all been fighting to undo that to some degree. I mean, we love our homes, we love our quality of life, and we don't ever want to jeopardize that. But we got to pay for employees. We have more employees than we did in 50 or 45 or whatever it was. The fire department being paid, more police, the ambulances or the fire department running all the time. There's just, everything costs more, it's different. So it seems to me we've spent all these years trying to put things back, to grow our businesses, to take the burden off the homeowners, off our property taxes. And when you're in a situation like that, it's hard. Like we contrasted to Lake Worth. I mean, they were smaller than we were, as I recall, and nothing going on out there. And then all the businesses showed up, and they had 7 times as much sales tax as we have. 7 times. So if we get $300,000, they get $2.1 million, right? Okay, and their city is small, and so it's not hard to see how that works. So it seems to me, from sitting up here a long time, the only way out, without all of us paying a lot more out of our pocket in property taxes, is to grow the business base. I think we've seen the increase in the sales tax. We can talk about different reasons for that. But that ultimately is what is going to get us out of this hole. So we're never going to be in Lake Worth with 7 times as much, but to get us closer to that. So the question is, how do we do that? So in 95, I was actually the one that because of my work at Deloitte and Touche, and I worked with cities, I worked with the city of Grand Prairie. We created the Grand Prairie Sports Corporation, which created the horse track? I've never been over there. That's what they built. Yeah, Lone Star Park. They did it. It was one of the first ones in the Metroplex to do that. I had knowledge of that. I had several clients with them. I came on the council in '94. We didn't have them. Nobody in Tarrant County had them at the time. And I'm like, this is half cent, people driving through pay it, it's not our homeowners paying it only. That's the beauty of a sales tax, right? Property tax is 100% your homeowners. Sales tax, if even one person drove through and spent money, that's a less of a burden on the homeowner, because they went through, and we know a lot more than one person goes through and spends money. So I think that is the way out. How do we get there? We have challenges, we all know. People go online and say, nothing's happening in River Oaks, and they don't understand the depths of our business district are not large. Many of them are not large enough to have the kind of businesses we need to generate the sales tax we need. And for many years, we had I'll call them, I think we've had some home runs recently. I'll say we didn't have home runs, and it was dismal, and it was bleak. And when EDC was first created, it has no money. It took a period of time to get any money, right, to do anything with. And so that was part of why it takes a while for that funds to accumulate before you can do some things. And we were doing big grants, which is, to our businesses to fix or place up. Over the years, we've done park stuff, we've done a lot of community center stuff. Then we started getting enough money to do the QT deal, and it was, $600,000 or something, I don't remember exactly. And then we've done several deals, and we protected our citizens by making the owners, guarantee the payback, and, because we didn't want to put any money at risk. And so I think all that has worked. I think that has worked well. Over the years, the state came in, there was things going on. The big cities couldn't do these 4Bs, at least originally, and maybe they still can, I don't know. They didn't like it because they were missing out on economic development. They didn't feel like they were on a level playing field because of this. So the state started changing what you could spend the money for and all these sorts of things. And then, as was mentioned earlier, 7 years ago or whatever, they changed it so that it could. First, they did a property tax thing where you could do a portion of sales tax for that, and then open it up to the government to go back in. So when I'm looking at this, to me, there's 3 reasons that I would be against passing this ordinance, resolution, whatever it is, calling the election. And one of them is because of the not being able to disagree without being disagreeable, some have absolutely trashed the EDC. That was seen as the way to make this work. And we heard that Tuesday night. I'm glad the statements were cleaned up some for tonight. But I have sat with these men, mainly men, a few women, you were on it for a while, who are good people and making good decisions. And to hear them trashed bothers me greatly.
To hear it phrased that I trashed them,
I'm still speaking.
you are alleging that I trashed somebody.
You did.
So don't be disagreeable.
You did. That would be one reason it would make me want to vote against this, is because of the way that was handled. Initially, the EDC, Robert Brown, Charles was on it, I was on it, Greg was on it, had 4 council members and 3 citizens. The reason it was that way was because the council could control, right? It was allowed, and that way we had citizens input, but the council still controlled. If all 4 council were together, they would override it. Over the years, that started changing, and have more citizens on, one of which was your idea, Joe, was to have more citizens on. In fact, you gave up your seat so that another citizen could go on. So over the years, we went from 4 council till we ended up with 2 council. So at that point, council is talking and recommending and giving out ideas in no position to control, because we don't have the votes to control, even if we wanted to. So, though it still worked, it worked. To my knowledge, it worked. It worked until Monday night. I know there were some hiccups along the way where things weren't done, There were times, at times, the